Everybody at the bar getting tipsy. Oh,
Oh, no, they got you.
burning
Oh, my.
bar.
Good Lord.
Oh my good lord. Why is my audio included in the joint, bro? Nah, hell
I
no.
never. Oh, you nervous, man. What you about to say on here?
Nah, I selected no. It said, do you want to include the party shit on your joint? I was like, no. It still has it on here.
Yes, Lord, I see.
It's definitely on. I didn't put it in yet. Pause. That's something crazy. Hold on, let me see if there's a way I can.
Kyle Field, home to the Texas A&M Aggies, the Corps Cadets, the world-famous 12th man, Lady Reveille, and early indications, a whole throng of Aggies ready to make some noise. There's nothing quite like a great rivalry matchup in college football. The bitterness, the intensity, the lifetime of memories that will come as a result of what we're about to see in this one. As we'll see the number 9 team in the country David Pollock and Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's tee this one up. The Longhorns will get us started with the opening kickoff. No return coming. He'll call for the fair catch. First down for this offense. Quarterback changing the plays at the line. Gonna run it. It's Owens. At the 35, he's open. And an explosive play has him on the move, and he gets it all the way to the 48-yard line.
Defense is going to have their hands full trying to stop this guy. They better rally to the football and get multiple hats because he is not easy to bring down.
To the air, it's Wegman. Fires to the tight end. And the catch was one thing, and the run even better. A big pickup on that one. Ever since they invented the forward pass, the tight ends have been running the drag and getting the first down.
I think it's because the tight ends is so much versatility. You know, they can block and stay in the formation, or they can release and come out. But either way, if the quarterback
Fires deep toward the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown, Texas A&M. When they have something to cheer about here, this Kyle Field crowd is the most choreographed group in all of college football.
They've got so many chants and cheers that I had no clue about Reese until we visited. And you see it's choreographed, it's perfect together. And how about this choreographed start? Exactly how they drew it up early, getting this place going bananas.
And the returner runs out of real estate as he goes down. You can barely hear yourself thinking here as they're trying to get this defense off to a good start. Quick touch pass to the receiver. You'll take this every time. 5 yards on the first down play. The burnt orange just smoked the Aggies the last time these two got together.
And anytime you get beat down by your rival, like Reese was talking about, it stings. And it's talked about for a long time, and your coaches do not let you forget it.
And these two teams feel it on the recruiting trail too, right? Texas's blowout win last year really helped them this past offseason. So they're looking to capitalize and see if they can go 2 years in a row.
He'll move it up to the 30. Line, and it'll be a first down. The Longhorns will hustle to the line. To the air on first down. Pocket starts to collapse. Grab behind the line. It's Washington. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. You can really set the tone for what's possible in your season in early season showdowns like this, both in the top 10 and both with the loftiest of goals.
This one's fun too, David, because we had this game circled in the offseason. We knew this was going to be a really good matchup early, and we're going to find out the answers to a lot of questions we have about both these teams.
Well, and sometimes it's hard to figure that out, right? Like, you don't get till mid-season, you're like, oh, they haven't played anybody. Out the gates, 2 top 10 teams, we get to find out really quickly who's legit.
Great job, too, by the QB there, holding the ball as long as possible, allowing the pass rush to get upfield, and at the very last second, getting it to his guy so that he can go get the first down.
Trying to find his man on first down. Oh, he's going to try to hit him deep. That was an eyelash away from being picked off, and that is not the way to set the tone with a near pick on your opening drive. Did Bevo really get his name after altering a brand on his backside put there by Texas A&M students? So many questions to answer since 1894, guys.
Well, and that's what's so cool about this rivalry. When you have the back and forth and who did what, Going all the way back to 1894, Reese's first birthday. What an amazing rivalry.
There have been a lot of good players during that stretch, too. Think about Ricky Williams from the Horns, Johnny Manziel, Texas A&M. So many great coaches have patrolled the sidelines in this rivalry for years.
The Longhorns getting set on 1st and 10. Grabbed behind the line, it's Wilson. They stop him at the 22, 15-yard pickup on the play, and a first down just outside the red zone. They built this offense around finding mismatches and just get the ball to the back and let him do his thing.
Yeah, it didn't have to be long down the field like it.
Rush coming in hot, and they got him at the 29.
I think if you're the quarterback moving forward, you need to start thinking about hot routes to your tight ends and to your running backs because of this outside linebacker. He's a guy that has shown the knack to get after the QB. When he comes blitzing, you need to have an outlet throw in your back pocket.
Nothing but got some room, headed to the goal line. And he waltzes in for the score. Touchdown, Longhorns! I tell you, when this drive started, the defense thought they had them in a hole. Not anymore. What a performance.
And I really like the play calling by the offensive coordinator on that last drive. That was a nice mixture of running and throwing and getting different players involved. Really nice job, very poised in that play calling, and it showed up with a touchdown.
Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. Texas A&M has it back in the offense, ready to go to work. After standing on the sideline and watching that long touchdown drive, they really need to put something together to give their defense a rest.
And that's a real thing, man. Like, you played a lot of plays, you get worn out, you need a chance to go decompress on the sideline, get some oxygen. Palmer, now it's on this offense.
Yeah, this is the definition of complementary football because it's a two-pronged problem. You've got to score points and answer, but you've also got to take your time and give your defense an opportunity to get their win.
And he'll step out of bounds after a very productive play. It can get pretty wild in the Big 12. Some of these outposts are like snake pits when you have to go on the road. Got to get off to a quick start in conference play.
It is always wacky, Reese. Like, there's always something that happens in the Big 12, and somebody comes out of nowhere in the Big 12 every single year. So starting in conference play, Palmer, these games start to really matter, really add up, and the pressure amplifies.
It's so true, too. When you think about the Big 12 conference, it just seems like teams get caught sleepwalking. So you've got to start fast. And the challenge, I think, for these coaching staffs, these two teams, every week they've got to have their team ready to go, and it starts today.
He wants to go deep. Snatches it on the right. And they'll do more than move the chains. They'll move that thing more than 30 yards down the field before he's finally stopped. The Aggies are moving quickly down the field. Single back formation, and they give it to it. A run up the middle is stopped for no gain. Love seeing these early season top 25 matchups. You can get a really good feel of how good these teams are, guys.
And the intensity is going to be big too, David, because the players, you know, on these teams, they've been thinking about this game for a long time. They knew they'd have a national stage, and they got a chance to prove just how good they are.
Oh, man, make that statement. Make that early statement. We always look at the end of the season, and what does the committee say? Oh, they beat top 25 so-and-so. Here's your chance to put that on your resume that'll pay off big time late in the season. Man, that used to just drive me nuts. I couldn't stand that. You quarterback drops back the pass, scrambles around. You got me chasing you all over the field, getting close to the sideline. Stay in bounds. Please stay in bounds. Let me get a little bit of a reward for all my running so I can just put some kind of hit on you. Nope. Steps out of bounds.
And he finds some solid space, makes a nice game before the defense is able to stop him. And the Aggies headed quickly to the line. From the gun, the give, looking for room. And he sprints to the end zone. Touchdown, Aggies! Well, they started with horrible field position, but ended with perfect field position in the middle of the end zone.
It all comes down to execution, Reese. You've got to have guys going out and doing their jobs. You You saw the offensive line up front. They were physical. Skilled players made it happen with the ball in their hands, and the quarterback really showed command on that last drive.
And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. Here comes the Texas offense. That running game was impressive, taking them right down for a touchdown last time, David.
Yeah, just mauling.
And that ball is picked off. Even with minimal gain on the return, they are working with a shortened field from the 36.
Well, the offense turns it over, and talking to their coaching staff before this game, they talked about how important it was to have good ball security and not give the opponent extra possessions. That time, poor decision by the quarterback, and the defense made them pay.
Going up top on first down. He's got it. Big gain on that one as he steps out of bounds with a first down.
That's what's so scary about this offense. They've got guys in the perimeter that can change the game in one single play, and you saw it right there. Too much speed on the perimeter to create that explosive play.
Makes the grab on the left. Touchdown, Aggie. And they take it in for 6 more points.
Well, this offense is top 10 in the country in points per game because they've got a lot of speed and they've got home run hitters. They score fast. They don't need 10 plays to go down the field. You saw it right there. They've recruited well. They've got playmakers. They're going to be a problem for defenses all year long.
Oh, he's going to take a chance and bring it out. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out in the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. And here come the horns. They've got it again on offense. Well, let's see if this drive goes better than the last one. They were in and out quickly after the quick pick, David.
Yeah, first play, big mistake, man. Now, let's get this offense in a little bit of a rhythm. Maybe before you open it up again, Palmer, or do you trust him right away?
He seems to me like the guy maybe that just needs to kind of get into the flow of the game. So maybe you get the running game going here and just give him some easy looks to let him get lathered up.
Knocked down after picking up 5 out to the 24. And the Longhorns in the hurry up. And he's brought to the ground, but not before he gets enough for the first down.
Man, this offense continues to do such a great job on third down. One of the best in the country at it, and the reason why, they keep it manageable most of the time. Third and short, they can run the football, be physical, convert first downs. This offense has been so good on third downs.
A little screen to the running back. No sirree, not this time. The defense was there and ready for that one.
Man, on those screen passes, I want those defensive linemen to run right up the field, and I want to throw it right over their head where I got some space and I can get my running back going. That is the opposite of what happened right there. There was no space. He couldn't even get going.
He lets it fly. Grabs it at the 25 in stride. Touchdown, Texas! And once he got loose, it was all over.
Really nice job working the route and getting himself open. He was able to locate the football, snag it out of the air, and this guy now has 5 receiving touchdowns on the year.
And with the extra point, they're down a touchdown, 21-14. The kickoff team out there getting set. Not going to risk a return here. He'll make the fair catch. One final play before the end of the quarter. Give to the back. And he's able to pick up a few yards as we reach the end of the first quarter.
That's the end of the first quarter. With the score, Texas A&M 21, Texas 14.
Second down now as they're ready to go back to work. Dropping back, it's Wegman. Fires to the wideout. Wide open downfield. Defense caught out of position, and they get him down finally at the 38.
Really good job there on the pitch and catch. You think about Texas A&M and their ability to recruit receivers in recent years. It's been about as good as anybody, I think. You think about names like Mike Evans, Christian Kirk. They're getting guys not just in the state of Texas, but nationally that want to come to College Station, and they want to catch passes in this offense. It knows they give them a chance to play on Sundays, and this guy, I think, is going to be one of those guys that we're seeing playing in the league.
Looking to pass on second down. Oh, he wants it all. How about getting the foot down on that throw for the big completion?
Well, it didn't take long for this guy to leave his impact in the game, guys. With that catch, this guy's already over 100 yards in the game, and we're not even done the first half.
Works his way ahead for about 3. It's down at the 8. Going to work in the red zone. They can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. He's looking for a man on second down. Flushed out of the pocket. Touchdown, Aggies! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house. Well, that didn't necessarily go as planned, but it was most effective in the end.
I love it, Reese. Down in the red zone, this quarterback didn't have anybody open. Didn't panic. He just decided, man, I'm going to go do this myself. I'm going to use my wheels and put up 6 on the board. And he did just that.
And he's going to run it back. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. So now the Longhorns take over and they'll send out the offense. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14, you can kind of feel that way. But, dude, if you put a good drive together, this is a 7-point game. So, Palmer, no need to panic.
I was just going to say, David, I mean, this thing can flip quick. You go down, score, all of a sudden your defense gets a stop, or who knows, better yet, gets a turnover. This game is entirely different.
Quarterback, quick pass to the receiver. 1-step wrap, 2-step squeeze. This junior knows how to get him on the ground.
And these little touch passes, man, they're just the easiest completions ever for quarterbacks. Palmer, I bet you would have loved being able to just flip it forward. That counts as to your completion percentage, which is good. And then it's all run after the catch, so pretty easy for a QB.
You wouldn't have been the only All-American in this booth, David, if I were allowed to have push passes when I was playing quarterback. I'll tell you that. It is so hard to defend. It's so hard to seal that edge, especially when this guy's full speed ahead coming around the outside.
Yeah, and 3rd and short, it's a great place to be for an offense. You've got the whole playbook available, and they choose to pass. The defense did a really good job playing the pass, and 4th down now, it's decision time for you.
He'll take it on the return. He's brought down, but a really solid effort to pick up every bit of the yardage he could on the punt return. Texas A&M has it back, and we say howdy to the Aggie offense again. This has been exactly the way you draw things up, David. The offense has really been moving the football.
And it's been great execution. They've done exactly what they wanted to do. Build the lead. Now Palmer's a different animal. Now you got to protect it.
You can tell they were paying attention in practice this week in the film room because they have gone out, everybody right now on the same page.
Fast motion from the offense. Dropping back, it's Wegman. Unloads to the right. And that pass picked off. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception.
Not all guys have the ability to break on the football, go make a play, and catch it. You play defense for a reason. A lot of wide receivers are the ones that do most of the catching. Great job by the defense securing the INT.
Offense making its way onto the field to start the drive. The give to the back. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
Well, the offensive line had everybody blocked except the defensive end. He was able to sneak into the backfield and get the tackle for loss.
Not what they had in mind to start this drive. Here comes 2nd and 13. He's looking to throw. He's going to fire deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Going for broke on 2nd down, but 3rd down's coming up.
I think for the quarterback, he's going to have to be so good with his eyes in this game. You're going up against one of the best defenses in the country. You've got to look guys off, especially when you're trying to throw to your primary target like he was on that last one.
Pulls it in. It's Washington. Excellent job working through the air there, finding a hole in that defense and picking up a 1st down.
Well, look, that wasn't a touchdown, but that was a massive play for this offense. They needed some momentum. They needed to find a rhythm, and what better way than converting on 3rd down. Awesome job by the quarterback getting the first punch.
And this one will be stopped for no gain. And the Longhorns are in the hurry-up.
Yeah, nice job by the defense. That's what you're supposed to do. As soon as they catch the football, you want to limit that yards after the catch, and he went nowhere after the catch. Nice job by the D.
And that one looked great on the grease board, but when they blow it up like that, the defense is going to win every time.
And you're trying to get the ball to the running back quick and let him get some space, but there was absolutely no space. They penetrated quickly, and they got him before he could even get going.
Here comes this home crowd as the defense tries to get off the field on 3rd down. Looking to throw it again. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
And on money down defensively, you've got to find ways to affect the quarterback. Nice job by the defense, getting the pressure, getting to him, getting a hit on him, and forcing the incompletion, and now forcing the 4th down.
The Longhorns will punt this one away. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. He's able to pick his way for just a bit, but he'll be stopped at the 18. Good job by the punt team. Texas A&M has it back in the offense, ready to go to work. Boy, they hope this next drive is more productive after throwing a pick last time, Jesse.
Yeah, and the coaches did a good job on the sideline there, just talking to the young quarterback and making sure he's able to turn the page, calm him down, to go out and refocus this drive.
Yeah, and some people do that better than others, but you got to show some trust in him, maybe get the ground game going, help around him a little bit with this system.
Looking downfield, it's Wegman. Throws for the tight end. A beautifully placed ball to the outside and the toe drag for the big pickup.
Well, this offense has come out slinging the pill. They are throwing. They're trying to be aggressive. We're only in the 2nd quarter, guys. Already, this guy has over 200 yards passing.
Wide receiver coming across in motion. Touch pass on the jet sweep. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see which way that's going to go. We'll repeat the previous down, but this time the offense has 10 more yards it has to cover. Looking for a productive play on 1st down. Quarterback checking off. They'll go to the air. Quickly out to the tight end. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a 1st down.
I'll tell you, I love the play call on 1st down here. You're just trying to find an easy completion, and the shortest throw on the field for the quarterback is finding your biggest target, and that's the tight end. Nice job.
Got the completion on the last play. Still some work to do on 2nd down. He's looking to throw. Trying to get to him. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete. As we reach the 2-minute warning, they'll need to try to get a stop to keep this thing from getting out of hand. From From the gun, he'll try to throw for it on third down. Looking to the big tight end. Got him downfield. Let me tell you, this senior quarterback can flat fit it in a tight window. Texas A&M back to work with another first down. Looking to move it through the air. Blasted as he lets it go. Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and Indy never had a chance. Ball still spotted at the 34. It's 2nd and 10 after the incompletion.
He didn't have a whole lot of time to get rid of that one. The defense was all over him right after this.
Hits him in stride inside the 10. They make the tackle, but he's got a fresh set of downs, and it's 1st and goal from the 7.
And on the defense, I got to find a way to get some more pressure on the quarterback and disrupt their timing and their rhythm. I can't give them these big chunk plays through the air. I got to be maybe a little bit more aggressive or do something a little bit different.
They go up top to get it down to the 5-yard line as they try to pay off this drive. He's just winning that matchup in the slot every time.
And when you put him in the slot, Reese, he's closer to the quarterback. It's an easier throw. We can run in, we can run out, and really take advantage of his versatility of the guy in that slot position.
Back to pass, it's Wegman. Steps away to find some room. He just threw that one away. Nobody was getting open. He had to live to fight another play in the red zone. It'll be 3rd down. This is one of those momentum turning points. If this defense can force a field goal attempt, that is a victory for them. Let's it go to the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown, Texas A&M. How efficient have they been as they extend this lead here in Week 5? The kick is up and good and put one more on the lead. Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. From a couple of yards deep, he'll bring it out. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. So Texas has it again, and here comes the offense. This late in the half, you're behind. You'd love to create something before the break to build momentum, Jesse.
But you've also had some miscues on offense, a big part of why you're losing the game right now. I'd take it into halftime, make my adjustments, and come out ready in the second half.
Yeah, I'm going to take it into halftime too, Paul. But I'm trying to put some points up right here. Be aggressive, set the tone, be like, hey, listen, this is what you're going to get in the second half, so find something really quickly you can go to.
Wants to fire on 2nd down. He'll pull it down. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks. There's a timeout called as this offense tries to find a way to draw a little closer. They'll need to convert this 3rd down from their own 22 to get this drive jump-started. Running back goes in motion. In the gun, looking to throw on 3rd down. Grabbed over the middle, it's Gibson. And they knock him down, but he got past the line to gain. Here's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half. It's 1st and 10 from the 31. He's going to pass. They're trying to get to him. Hit hard just as he released it on 1st down and just couldn't get it to the receiver.
Well, the offensive line has got to give him at least a little bit of time to survey the field. He had no chance that time, getting hit almost immediately after he got the ball.
Here comes the offense on 2nd down. He's looking to throw. Gonna let it fly. And it's incomplete after taking a shot on 2nd down. They're staring at 3rd.
Well, at this juncture in the game, with how the scoreboard looks, no question this offense is going to have to throw to get back in the game, and it's going to be tricky now because the defense is expecting it. You're going to throw into a lot of big zone coverages with everybody's eyes on the quarterback. Not going to be easy.
On third down, going up top. And the quarterback is snowed under. Timeout is called, and it's the defense wanting to make sure that everyone's on the same page for this big down. The Longhorns will send out the punt unit. Takes it on the return. He was working his way toward midfield, but they'll stop him at the 46-yard line. They'll have just enough time to get one more snap before the half. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for one or two more plays. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Looking to throw, it's Wegman. Receiver looks it in, it's complete. He's brought down, solid pickup, but a little bit short of the first down. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update. Texas A&M ready to kick it away to get the third quarter started. Going for the return. That gamble did not pay off as they bring him down at the 12-yard line. And here comes the Texas offense back on the field. They start this third quarter in a big hole, and they have to start climbing out right now.
And they're going to have to be really aggressive, Reese. Like this offense, when I'm playing from behind, every possession means so much more. And if you look the other side, the defense, they haven't given much resistance.
Yeah, nothing has gone their way in the first half offensively. And you know now, based on how this defense is playing with their confidence, that you are going to be challenged on every single snap. So buckle up, get your mind right, and get ready to come back in this game.
Looking for a physical attack from the gun. And he'll be taken down, but he does have enough for the first down.
Wow, the running back there showing you his skill set as he's able to rip off that one for a first down.
They've got it 1st and 10 from the 25. Motion from the offense. The give to the running back from the shotgun. Nowhere to run on that one. He loses 4 on the carry.
How about the defender being a heat-seeking missile? He was on radar lock. He found the football and flew down with some bad intentions.
Couldn't get him blocked on that last one. Now it's 2nd and 14. He's looking to throw. That's reeled in. It's Washington. Strong, firm tackle. The Longhorns want to move quickly. It'll be a run on 3rd and short. Able to work it to the 39-yard line, and that'll be a first down.
All right, defense, that's what we can't do. We can't give up this many chunk yards on the ground. Got to commit more guys to the line of scrimmage. Got to get those running backs on the ground. That's way too easy.
And the Longhorns are rolling down the field. He's looking to throw it. And the defense is all over the quarterback, and down he goes.
That defender did not care that the running back was setting up behind him on a screen. He was just thinking one thing and one thing only. See ball, get ball. He did that.
The first down sack pushes the ball back for this long 2nd down. He's looking to throw. Caught in the backfield, it's Gibson. And the defense had that one well covered, just a short game there.
This defense is going to have to be careful. Not only do they have to worry about this guy running the football, but they've got to keep their eye on him when he runs routes too. He is a versatile back.
3rd down, and this offense is already in a world of trouble. They could really use a conversion, not to mention multiple scores. He's looking downfield to throw. Finds the tight end. And he's not going to get there. The defense stands tall and makes the stop.
You got to love that. On defense, one of the most most critical statistics out there is how do you play on third down? How do you prevent the opponent from keeping drives alive? Right there, tackling the catch. You gave up the completion. Whoop-de-doo. You set up 4th and long. You're going to get the ball back. Go get some water and celebrate.
Texas A&M has it back, and we say howdy to the Aggie offense again. Quarterback making adjustments with his receivers. Stuffed almost in his tracks, but strong enough to pick up one to the 35. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. To throw, it's Wegman. Going to try to pop one on the screen. They make the stop right there. Good pickup, but still short of the first down.
I'll tell you what, if you want to be overzealous, you want to be a blitzer all the time, I like running the screen right behind him. Did a great job throwing the screen. Almost broke this one for a long game, but it just keeps the defense a little bit more honest if you want to start bringing a lot of pressure.
Forced to just throw it away on 3rd down, and now they face 4th. Texas A&M will have to boot it away.
I don't hate the play call there on 3rd and short either, because you try to catch them off guard. 3rd and short on your own side of the 50. It's not there. Throw it away. Now, if you want to go for it now and run it, now's the time to do it on 4th down.
And this punt will be down just inside the 30-yard line. The Longhorns sending the offense back onto the field. Their drive chart is starting to look a little monotonous. Punt, 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 David.
And their defense is starting to get a little frustrated, too. They just keep putting me back on the field, possession after possession. Jesse, this offense needs to get their heads out of their you-know-whats.
The punter's on the sideline with the oxygen mask right now. He's been playing so much. He's not used to this. This offense, they just got to stay on the field. They've got to put a drive together and get some balance going, running and throwing the ball.
He wants to throw here on 2nd down. They're bringing heat. Still running at the 40. Picks up the first down and gets down to avoid contact.
Hey, listen, it's important at that position to be able to be good off schedule. Everything's easy when it's on time. You can get the ball out. But when things break down, they get off schedule. You've got to have a guy back there that can make the right decisions. He did exactly that.
They'll throw it on 1st down. He's going for the big play. And he pulls it in inside the 15-yard line. The stop is made, but this offense is threatening 1st and goal from the 9. Wide receiver shows motion. The snap sets up the throw. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and goal.
Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. He'll run it up the middle, trying to pick his way to the end zone. He'll pick up 3 before he's down at the 6.
Unsuccessful 2nd down, and now immediately thinking, I got a little bit more than I want, so what are my pass plays? What am I going to get into here offensively? Try to have success on 3rd down.
Working that left side now. Touchdown Longhorns! And they take it in for 6 more points. Great example of how a second half can really change everything for a team.
No doubt, first half looked bad. It looked like it was bleak. It looked like it was ugly. But now you're starting to get it turned around. More drives like this is what's needed.
The kickoff team out there to boot it away and 15 yards farther up the field after the roughing the kicker penalty. They'll pull in the squib kick inside the 15. Line gets set, 1st down. looking to throw. It's Wegman. Using the quick game. And a big hit at the end, but it didn't stop him from getting the first down.
This quarterback has been really good today. Has been on top of it, seeing things really, really well. That pass right there put him over the 300-yard mark. That's a pretty good day.
Using his legs, it's Owens. Good pickup on the ground, and they'll mark him down at the 39.
I know it's sexy to throw the football, but if you can pound it away and get these kind of gains, they will just add up, wear the defense down, get first downs, and ultimately get some points.
Good spot after that 7-yard pickup on first down. It's 2nd and 3. He's looking to throw. Unloads to the wideout. Got his man downfield. And he was on his way. Gets it all the way to the 38. And that one's going to get Reveille howling a happy tune.
Reveille, the 12th man, all the swaying, the traditions when you go to an A&M game. These fans love their team, and they love playmakers that make big plays down the field.
They'll throw it on first down. He looks that one in nicely. Just what this offense was looking for. Sets him up at the 26 for the first down.
And there was no question in that scenario. That's where the quarterback was going. He knew he had his receiver in a matchup that he liked, running a route where he would find himself open. Nice job between those two.
He's got an open man. They get him down, but this offense is set up 1st and goal from the 9. And Jesse just keeps piling up numbers over 350 yards for the game.
And I feel like from the get-go, Reese, this guy's just been in a great rhythm all game long. He just seems like he's dialed in, and man, he's been accurate throwing the ball.
And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
And just a great job by the defense being stout, right? That's your job. Be stout up front, stuff in the run play, make them get in more passing situations, but do not let them run the football. That's 101. Stop the run first.
Touchdown, Aggie! What a grab and go for the score. Like a Thanksgiving turkey, they're just being carved. No shot. They have no idea how to get in this quarterback's head.
He's on fire. Everything he's doing is working defensively. We got to figure something out. We got to try to do something a little bit different. Bring more pressure. At this rate, shoot, he's on so much fire. You might as well just send everybody. Blitz everybody, live with the results, because everything else ain't working anyways.
That ball skips through the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 25-yard line. Here comes the Texas offense. They're down by 21 points, but you get a touchdown here, and you do at least apply a little game pressure, Jesse.
It's true. I think for them to get back in this one at this point now, they need the quarterback to play his best football. He's going to have to be good really pre-snap, David, making sure they're in the right looks, and he's got to be really good with his decision-making.
He's got to be dialed in because defensively you're giving up points. So it's not like you have the luxury of your defense playing great. The offense is going to have to score and score pretty dang quickly.
Dialing up a 2nd down pass play. And the ball is intercepted. He'll try to take it back. He'll go out of bounds, but he gets the ball back, takes it the other way, and he has created a great sudden change opportunity.
QB's got to pick and choose their spots when they want to be really aggressive and try to fit balls in tight windows. Great job on the DB, making a big play, getting the ball back to its offense.
With the run on 1st and goal. And he is stopped for no gain, and that will bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter of play. The score, Texas A&M 42, Texas 21.
Starting off this quarter close enough to smell the goal line. The receivers often will run their route based on a side adjustment. Wants to throw. It's Wegman. Oh, the quarterback can make a big play when he starts moving around. Touchdown, Aggies! And the route is on. They give themselves a little more cushion as they try to reel off their 4th straight win. Now they've got a little breathing room. They are in firm control of this game, guys, but you never want to let up in a rivalry game.
Because it only takes one play. We know how much of a factor momentum can be in these types of rivalry games, David, so this game's still far from over.
And this is where my leadership and my experience comes into play. When you got guys that have been through these fires, been through these rivalry games, you know the swings happen quick. Now you got to swing it back your way.
Here come the horns. They've got it again on offense. After throwing the pick on the last drive, need to take care of the ball this time, Jesse.
We're going to find out a lot about this quarterback right here, too. How does he fight through adversity after that last drive?
Yeah, clear the mechanism, move on. That's a part of it, right? If you're going to be a great player, you got to learn how to handle these mistakes and move on.
Got 6 on first down. Now a lot of options on 2nd and 4. Let's go! The run to the left. Gets the nose of the ball to the 25, give him 1. They'll try to move the chains on 3rd and short from the 25. Wide receiver now comes in motion. From the gun on 3rd down. Grabbed in the middle. It's Washington. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they get it out to the 36. And the Longhorns come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Comes out throwing on 1st down. Fires to the wideout. Oh, he should have had that one right in his hands, and he couldn't hang on. Typically, he makes that play. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, this guy must feel like he's run into a buzzsaw in this game. He has been under duress all game long, and that's a big reason why he's thrown multiple interceptions in the game, too. Nothing coming easy to him. It's hard to see the field when your internal clock is going off so fast because of the pressure of this defense, and that's why they find themselves down by so much here in the 4th.
He didn't get a big gain. You want to call that play and probably want to get more yards, but you could tell that was super close from seriously busting loose. Nice job running the screen, getting the ball to your playmaker. If you could just make one more guy miss, that might have been huge.
That pass is well off target. He got hit as he was trying to throw, and they can't convert on 3rd down.
And the quarterback gets hit again. We already know this defense has gotten home to him multiple times in this game. So here you are, you're trailing in the game. Defense knows you're going to throw it. They're pinning their ears back. You can't feel very confident right now if you're the play caller, and certainly if you're the quarterback, that you're going to have time to throw.
Down by multiple possessions, you can't come up empty on this drive. They'll go for it on 4th down. He's got a 1st down and maybe a lot more. And they'll finally get him down after a terrific pickup.
That's a great example of the receiver knowing exactly where the 1st down marker is. He got the depth he needed to get, so once he was able to make the catch, he already knew he had it. Now a fresh set of downs.
They keep attacking through the air. Fires to the big fella. He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a 1st down.
They pick up the 1st down on the drag route. I know that seems like a simple route, but it's actually a lot more complex than what it looks like because that route changes based on whether it's man or zone. If it's man coverage, he's flying across the...
And he is finding wide open defenders all over the field. His 3rd interception of the day. Texas A&M has it back in the offense, ready to go to work. This offense has really been clicking in the game so far, Jesse.
No doubt. Everything their play caller is dialing up, these guys offensively have been able to go out and execute.
Yeah, and it's just maintaining the lead. Keep doing what you've been doing. You got a big lead. Let's just keep piling it on until they find an answer.
If you're going to stop the run game, you better be physical up front on the defensive line. They've got some maulers. They've got some dudes with bad intentions. Nice play there.
They'll run it, trying to drain time off the clock. Finding a way to put that foot in the ground and get it up to the 37-yard line. Offense breaks the huddle on third down.
29 Philly.
Looking downfield, it's Wegman. A strike downfield. They'll get the first down. It's spotted on the 49. We've reached the 2-minute warning, and this offense will be quite content just to drain the rest of the time away. It'll be a first down from the 49-yard line. From the gun, they'll try the middle. We'll give him a couple on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up.
And the defense is still fighting. They haven't had the day that they dreamed of. You know, talking to the coaches coming to the game, like they thought they had a good plan. They'd be ready to attack and limit some of the damage this offense has done. They haven't done it today, though. They got to go back to the drawing board, figure some things out, because this wasn't a great day.
A solid pickup there before the defense is able to make the stop.
And there's nothing more frustrating than when you get late in the game and you know they're running the football and you don't stop them. It's been that kind of day for this defense. They haven't played well. They're going to have to go to the well. They're going to have to figure some things out. Practice this week, I can promise you, will not be a lot of fun with these coaches.
Good execution. They move the sticks, and they've got it at the 33.
He has been the go-to guy on offense all game long. Another critical third down here in the fourth quarter. Surprise, surprise. Guess who they go to? That guy.
And the quarterback's just going to take a knee. There's a long and storied history of great games between these two rivals, and this chapter adds another to that legacy.
Really impressed by the poise by the winning team as well here. They weren't overhyped in this game. They came out, they looked prepared, they were calm, definitely confident. And David, they were able to go out and execute well enough to get this win.
And it's hard in these rivalry games with all the emotions running so deep. Like, you sometimes get overzealous. Sometimes you get too many penalties. It's hard to rein in your emotions, but they did. They kept it in check, and now bragging rights for a whole year.
That's going to do it for us. For